Good morning. This is Howie, and I'm here to help you win with money. Lots of good news for today, December 4th. This is the end of the week of this month, Friday, December 4th. I have a lot to talk about from a news point of view, but before we do, please like and subscribe if you have not. Also, if you want, you can support me and my channel using the affiliate links below. I do get paid a small commission from Amazon if you buy any of the books that I recommend. With that, let's go on to the news. Let me show you what's going on. Markets are currently up, and it looks like we're at all new records for the S&P. The Dow looks really good. NASDAQ looks really good. Everything looks really good. Christmas is going to be great. Santa Claus rally is going to be great. January effect is going to be great. If you ever checked your 401k plan recently or your brokerage account, you're probably feeling pretty good about yourself. On the other hand, if you're out of work, you're not going to feel so good. And that's the other part of the news. Unemployment gets released every Thursday, and then the monthly numbers come out once, a month behind. Unemployment rates fall, but there's still a lot of pain. A lot of people are out of work. A lot of people are underemployed, which means maybe they got furloughed or laid off and they got a temporary job making a little bit less than what they were making before. So it's not all good for everyone. I know that not everyone owns stock, and so not everybody feels the benefits of it. But let me show you something that is really good. Earnings report. I tried to play this last earnings and I got burnt. If I played it this time, I would have done okay, but I didn't. I avoided it because I learned my lesson from last time, lost a couple $1,000. But let me show you what's going on. This is really good. They beat earnings. Lots of good stuff happening at DocuSign. I don't think this is a COVID play, even though people call it that. If you did any legal transaction lately, refinance, if you did something that requires your signature, most likely a lot of new companies are using this particular product, their product, DocuSign. Now I jumped into my ETrade account. You can see none of this is fake. This is my real portfolio. It is up. It is up and it's nice. I'm holding it. I'm not trading it. And this account, I actually started with only $2,000. It shows that I started with $4,000, but that is actually not even true. I started with $2,000. I turned $2,000 into $23,000. This company had a spinoff, Biogen. It spun it off, and for those who know, you know what happened. That company got bought out. They gave me cash for it in this account. I took the cash, bought DocuSign. But DocuSign is doing really well. And I did a video on that yesterday, so you can look at the earnings release. It's doing really well. I show that ARK, which is a mutual fund, which Carrie Woods runs. She is the big Tesla bull, and I think she's a great stock picker, or at least the people in her business is. And so keep an eye on some of their holdings. But here is the website that a lot of people use to track ARK and see what are they buying and selling. Now, just because you buy and sell doesn't mean anything. What you want to do is look for a pattern. Are they accumulating? Are they not accumulating? Right? Sometimes you're selling it because Tesla's at an all-time high, but you got to look at the chart. You got to see what they're doing, and I'll show you that real quick. If you jump in here, you see this. You can see the number of shares on this particular thing. Here you go. You see that? It was at 2 million, then it goes up, down, up, down. So sometimes they trade around a position. Doesn't mean just because they sold doesn't mean it's bad. You see that? They trade around a position. What I like is, in the case of DocuSign, you can see what they're doing. In nearly every portfolio they have, DocuSign is uptrending. They are not selling it regardless of price. And here's the one that I looked at yesterday. I'll show you real quick. Look at the share count. It started at 162,000, and it's been going up and up and up and up. So I really like DocuSign still. For the next thing I found really unusual is, let's see if this is working, Lemonade. I don't know what's going on with Lemonade here. A lot of volatility. You see this last 5 days and then it just pops. Is this a new COVID play? Is it a disruptor in the insurance business? They do a very limited product. I think they do renter's insurance, mostly through a mobile app, instant claims. I don't know. I think I read under a minute or 20 seconds or whatever it may be. But this is an interesting play because I'm following it because of the volatility, and we'll see what happens there. I did create a credit spread in the future, so I'll see how that goes. And about 2 weeks ago, I went long on Square, and I got in less than whatever it was 9 days ago, and I played it for a small pop. I made 100 and some odd percent, and then I only sold one of my contracts. And then the second one I actually closed out yesterday, but it's fine. I still made money, and if I held it, I would have been in the money today, but it would only be worth, I think I had a 207.50, so it would only be worth $150 as of today. But I did close that. But Square is interesting. I'm still looking at this. Great run up. Can it keep on going? I don't know. Crypto is popular. They're saying crypto made cash out worth more. So I'm still following it. Very hard to play. This thing is very expensive. You look at the 5-day move. You look at a 1-month move. This is very expensive. When something goes from 170 to over 210 here, it's hard to say, hey, there's going to be another run up. But that's part of the game. Okay, let me show you what's going on in my portfolio. I just noticed, if I go up here, I just noticed I rolled a cover call. You can see that. I rolled a cover call for Kraft Heinz. Sometimes I'm just looking to move things forward. My portfolio is still over 70. I think it hit over 70 this week. I never put money in this thing. I just write different options on it. I do hold some stuff for long-term dividend plays. Some stuff are moving faster than expected, like Bank of America. Even this. This is a boring fertilizer company, the CF Industries. And if you look at when I wrote this option, it wasn't even that long ago. If I just open it here, you see that? That's not a couple weeks ago. But this is moving faster than I expect. I don't expect boring fertilizer companies to be up that fast. And if I look at the charts, I think you'll see what I mean. Let's take a quick look. Okay, here's CF Industry. Let's just pop out a 5-day view. You can see that it was $37. 1 month view, $27 in a month. I did not expect that. So when I'm writing cover calls, if you saw that coming, there's really no good way to play a cover call to cover $10 distance in a month. I mean, if you were playing it super safe, far out of the money, you may have collected $1 or $2 on your cover call. So this is why I am behind and I'm in the money. You see that, which is bad, but I will constantly roll up, and I want to hold my fertilizer company because I got in at $28. I'm not really willing to let it go for 31. That means I made very little. I didn't even capture the full amount. Some other stuff. This is the edit task is really weird. This is the CRISPR. Let's see what else. I just rolled this one up. This one is okay. So let me see what else I'm trying to do. So my position, everything looks pretty good. I don't think there's a lot of moves for me to do. I did roll a lot of stuff forward. So lastly, let's go and open our spreadsheet and let's pop in all our transaction into this log. The first thing I noticed, I just unhide this column. I use it for my formatting. I did not copy in any data for the last 2 days. So let me go and grab the transaction from the second and the third into this spreadsheet. Here you go. I copied most of that. You see I got the second and the third. Go back here. Let's paste. That looks okay. Hang on a second. I got more transactions to grab. Okay. I never grab today's because I don't like the way they format it. It's slightly different. So let's skip that. That's today's. Let's grab the second and the third, which is over here. Okay, I'm done there. Let me swap back. Okay, I got back here. Paste. Now the next thing I'm going to do is just delete some useless rows. Before I do that, let me just paste this over here. Make sure this is all working. Okay, I'm going to do the magic of editing. You don't need to see all this. I do this every time. I'm going to plug all these numbers back in and copy and paste it all down here. And then I'll delete all the useless rows and fix everything else. The key for me is to make sure all these are right. The formula, last thing I do is I always do this, the puts. Make sure you see how my formulas are wrong here. These need to be signed a put. And so normally that means when I do a call, this will be right. And that looks good to me. Now let's pivot. I undo the filter. So I created a new cash curve put here. I've been doing cash curve put on Rocket. And I track everything, make sure everything is correct. Now the most popular part is, oh, before I do that, I always do this last. Format, change this, scroll here, go to the top. And because it's a new month, I changed the filter. You can see, if you want to see my last month data, you can just watch an older video. And here you go. Nothing exciting for this month. What a slow start. You see that? I think everything looks good. I don't see any errors here. Everything looks good to me. I don't see any errors there. And then here you go. You can see how the data will update. You keep an eye on this. This should reconcile with what you just saw over here. So I'll show you what I mean. Hit the refresh button. And there you go. So here's the totals. Let me just double check some of the math real quick. Yeah, it just looks strange, but this is right. You see this, 137.40. Again, very slow start for the beginning of this month. And I'll show you, if you go back here, if you do a summation here, you see that? 137.40 is exactly what it is. Or another way you can see it is use a subtotal. Whoops, let me try to do this right. Hit subtotal, hit 9, and then you just mark these cells. And I think I think I can just end it and you'll see that. So confirm, everything looks good there. This looks good. So you can see my trades, nothing to hide. My winners and losers don't always win. I just do my best to trade and try to keep it steady and consistent. And this one, there's nothing really to show. I'll hit the refresh button. I track all my trades by ticker so I can see what's going well and what's not going well. In any case, keep following me. I'm going to show you my trades for December. Year end is looking really good. I think we're going to end this year really good. Now, there may be a few days where if the market decides to turn, maybe 2021 will be a flat year. We'll see. I'm not too concerned about trying to predict markets. I have learned that's not my job. My job is to learn how to play the market regardless of what happens. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. You can see that I bought DocuSign. I have a few other players. I did a video a while ago. I sold my Biogen. I bought Fastly. I got into Lemonade yesterday. So I'm doing a lot of moves. I'm trying to figure out how to play it. The market is very expensive right now. For some of these tech stocks, very expensive. So you got to be careful how you play. I'm just trying to take a very conservative approach. I do small bets. I'm not a Wall Street bet. I'm not trying to do, 400 contracts on a single thing and try to strike it rich. I'm just trying to do this, manage my position, and make some money. That brings this episode to an end. Please hit the like, subscribe. Again, share this with your friends. I would like to show you how to make money. I'm just here to share everything that I'm doing. And hopefully you can gain some insight and improve your trading. Maybe you can just get convinced of why some strategies work better than others. I'm not saying, and you see, I play different strategies. I don't just always preach or teach one thing. You play the style that you like. Sometimes I make mistakes. I do a directional bet and I'm wrong. So you have to know and track your data and see which options trading works for you and which one makes you the most money. So with that being said, it's time for me to do my goodbyes. Let's help other people make money. Let's do this together. I always say, let's do this $1 at a time. If you make money $1 at a time, you will be richer than you were the day before. So I'm not here to teach you how to make $20 million overnight. I'm here to show you that if you make $1 profit or $5 profit or $10 profit, if you do it consistently, you will do well. So